Welcome back to my channel. I always say welcome back as if you actually came back after making it through one of them. Here's to dreaming, right? Ha! Today we are going to be doing a toot on this look right here. We're going to be doing a cut crease. If you don't know what that is, it is in no form or shape to do with scissors, sharp inanimate objects, knives. The only thing we're cutting into today is some good tips and tricks. This is definitely something a little bit more advanced, especially for people like me with burrito eyelids. You have to create a brand new crease for yourself. So I really try and focus on that so that people can really appreciate the hard work that you did, you know? I thought it would be fun to go ahead and dive into some fall colors, which are my absolute favorite. Just these deep, roasty burgundies and burnt oranges. Yes. The funny thing is, like, in my life, I hate orange. I think the color orange is a mistake. But in makeup, it's like my favorite. Irony. Irony is bliss. That's what they say, right? So today I am working out of this Melt Dark Matter stack. If you have not heard of Melt Cosmetics, they are an amazing company. They come in this really fun magnetic stack. The pans are huge, and I just feel like it's a really good investment. They are kind of pricey, but you're getting a really good bang for your buck. I hope you enjoy this video. I had a lot of fun creating this look. I encourage you throughout the video to just be patient and committed, and if you mess up, it is totally fine. It is just makeup. I even practiced this look before I did it on camera because I was afraid that I would totally screw it up for you guys. So if you're interested in seeing this look, please stay tuned. And if not, at least follow me on Instagram or like subscribe, you know? Like, that's the least you could do. You made it this far. Also, throughout the video, just a quick disclaimer, you'll notice that I am coughing up my lungs. That's okay, don't be alarmed. I've been sick for like a week, and I'm so over it, but the show must go on. And speaking of the show must go on, why don't we get to it? I'm shutting up, let's get started. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I'm going to start by applying some foundation. I'm going to be doing this Makeup Forever Ultra HD Stick Foundation. I am shade 155 for any of you that care. And we're just gonna slap this on. I just do like a couple strokes on the face. Real cute. I have quickly fallen so in love with this foundation. We really skipped the whole dating process and just went ahead and jumped into a full long-term relationship with each other. And something else that I love about this foundation is you can actually apply it in different ways. So if you want more fuller coverage like I'm doing now, you can stroke it directly on the skin and then press it in, my favorite way, with a beauty blender, as always. Or I will get a fat kabuki brush like the Morphe M439, which is my favorite, and I'll just dip it into the top of the foundation stick and apply it that way. And it gives you just a little bit more sheer coverage and a little bit more buildable. Another thing is nice about the stick foundation is that typically I will just, you know, stick all the areas I want the foundation, then go ahead and with my concealer, apply it and just blend it in with my beauty blender all at the same time, which saves so much time. But today, I want to wait on doing concealer to help clean up my under eyes, so we're just gonna put on some foundation and then deal with concealer later. If you're wondering what cool hairstyle I'm sporting right now, it's called the I've given up and I don't care hairstyle. I've been rocking it pretty much every day for the past couple weeks. I feel like it's working for me pretty well. Ugh. Why do I ever start with my hair down? I don't understand. Those YouTube people that can just do their whole tutorial with their like hair falling in their face, it drives me crazy. Rah! Maybe one day I'll be perfect. Probably not. I don't want to be. I lied. So glad you decided to join us. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Blemish that wasn't there literally an hour ago. But then I decided to film. It got word. Same newsletter my hair got and decided to do terrible. Now I'm going to apply my brows really quick off camera because I have an eyebrow video. I will link it down below if you are interested. BRB. I feel like I have a good like resting brow face, but like any emotion that I show, they don't look good. You know what I mean? Like the resting brow, good. Okay, so I have just carved out underneath my brows to sharpen them up. And now I'm just taking that leftover concealer and I'm going to apply it all over my lid. I like to have my brows done before I start my eye makeup for a couple of reasons. First of all, I feel like having my brow shape helps me navigate my actual eye shape, especially when doing something like this. And also, I just feel like it's the smartest because, like I said, I can extend this concealer and just go ahead and set all of it at one time. And now I'm going to take this E55 by Sigma and just get some white shadow. And I'm just gonna start by packing that the most intensely right underneath the arch of my brow and then kind of pulling it downwards into the crease. I know it looks a little crazy right now, but one, it is gonna help our eyeshadows blend so much easier later in the game, and two, it is going to kind of pre-highlight this brow bone for us and lift it even more. And if you're interested, the eyeshadows that I'm using are from this Lorac palette, these two white and cream shades over here. All right, now for the fun slash kind of miserable part. No, it's fun, it's great. I just wanna put this out there before we start. A cut crease is not an easy technique. If you're a beginner in makeup, or even if you're not, for me and all the other grandmas out there that have this like lip burrito eyes, we have to create our own crease, and that is what makes it so difficult in my eyes. Pun intended? Okay. So basically what we have to do is create another crease. So if you see, looking forwards, or looking straight in the corner, the camera, my crease is naturally right here. So that's where my eye is folding, but you can't see it, which really sucks as a makeup artist because you work for hours on something that nobody can see when your eyes are open. It's great. This is where my eye is folding. We're gonna go right above that. You can kind of see this little hollow right here that's not my actual crease, but that's where we're gonna make my crease today. That is why this is so taxing and precise, because we are literally creating an entirely new eye shape for ourselves. Today I'm going to be using the Melt Dark Matter stack. I love this stack so much. If you're a fan of warm colors, especially as we transition into fall, this is for you. The colors are so pretty. So the first color I'm going to be using is Blur, which is basically kind of like a peach smoothie, a light orangey transition shade. It was formulated to help blur out other shadows. So I'm going to be starting with the MAC 217. So I'm going to start right here and start building up the pigment above our crease. Starting with a lighter shade, I would highly suggest, because it's way easier to correct a lighter shade than going in with the darkest one. Another thing we are going to do today is I'm going to be flicking out this tail over here. I kind of put the pressure right here and then flick outward. I'm now gonna switch out my brush to the Morphe M506. Another thing that I want to stress is the tools and brushes that you use when doing a cut crease. This is one of my favorite brushes. I feel like it is necessary whenever I do a cut crease. It is small and precise, but it's still fluffy, so I can still blend. Just saying. I'm going to move on to the next color in our Melt stack, which is Unseen. It's just like a warm brown. So start out really light-handed and then you can gradually build up from there. I'm trying to keep my eyes as relaxed as possible. Cut crease is all about exaggerating the shape of your eye. So another thing I like to do is make sure and really exaggerate the front of our eyes here. And we're going to start building up this tail over here. I like to start it down in the corner and then flick it outwards. I like to go in tiny kind of circular motions to help blend that out into the Blur color. Switching brushes to this MAC 210. It's a pencil brush. And going in with another color in the Melt stack, which is Enigma, easily my favorite color in the entire stack. So we're just gonna start building that below those other two colors and try and keep it as tight to the crease as possible. It's not the most important that you are as clean as I'm trying to be with your shadow, because we are gonna go back with some concealer and clean it up, but I feel like it's just more fun to challenge yourself. Going back with my blending brush and just making sure it is flawless. If our look is anything, it will be blended, let me tell you. I'm going to switch to this Sigma E17 brush, and I'm going to densely pack Enigma right along the edge. So I'm just going to start in the middle and then slowly work my way to really define and cut that crease. And this is where we want our pigment to be the darkest and our line to be the sharpest. I'm going to focus most of my pigment here on kind of the curve of it and then slowly flick it out and make that perfect shape. To clean up all of our edges, I'm going in with this E46 by Sigma. It's like a tiny synthetic brush that's gonna help us carve out those edges with some concealer. Starting at the inner corner, I'm just gonna start carving out that shape. It's very hard to talk while I do this. So now that I have the inner corner done, I'm gonna go from the other side and clean up this. Initially, I'm just making sure that that top line is perfectly crisp. I really don't want it to be a harsh angle, so I'm trying to kind of make this more of a curved shape than an angular shape. Then I am just going to go ahead, fill in the rest of my lid space with some concealer. Now I'm gonna be going in with the only color I'm using not in the melt stack, which is this light pink color in the Lorac Pro palette. Packing that on my 242 by MAC, and I am just going to go over everywhere where we put the concealer. My favorite brush to use is this E75 brush by Sigma. It is my favorite eyeliner brush, and I'm going to be using the Maybelline Black is Black Gel Liner. I know I gave this eyeliner some shade last time I was using it, but I really shouldn't because it's been really good to me. I'm going to turn my brush angled downward towards my eye, and then following my bottom waterline, I am going to trace outward parallel to this curved line. I'm going to draw from the tip of the tail to the inner corner. So we have lightly mapped out where our eyeliner is going to be, and now we just fill it in. I'm just gonna quickly throw in some L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Mascara in Carbon Black before I go in with some lashes. I will be using my House of Lashes Iconic Lashes today. I'm a bigger fan of the crispy method, which is more of the like sitting them on top and then placing each corner in. And then I feel like it's always a good rule of thumb to just get a little bit more eyeliner and go over the band of your lash to make sure that it's all blacked out. So now I'm gonna go in and go ahead and do my under eye concealer. I'm going to be using the new Kat Von D Lock-It concealer. I do really like this concealer, but I'm not sure if it's going to replace my Naked. The reason that we waited to do this concealer is in case we messed up on our cat eye, we could just go and sharpen it up like that. It also sets pretty fast, so I like to do one eye at a time. Man, I really cannot get it together today. And blend it out with the Beauty Blender. I like don't feel like myself today. Like it's like raining outside. I've been sick for like a year and a half. Pretty sure it's terminal. I'm also gonna put a little bit that down the bridge of our nose, in the middle of our brows, and on our Cupid's bow. Try and even out our skin and blend it in. You know the drill. Then I like to just go over my whole face with the Beauty Blender one more time to just make sure everything kind of flattens into one layer. So before we finish off the face, I'm going to finish off the eyes, and I'm going to start by going in with my favorite pencil brush of all time, which is this Morphe E18 brush. I'm going to be mixing Blur and Unseen together and just throwing that underneath my eyes. So I'm gonna take a flat definer brush, this one's by Luxie, and just grab that Enigma color and put it super close to our lash line just to kind of ground those two brown colors. And again, just going back and blending that all together. So I think I'm just going to finish the rest of my face off camera since the eyes took so much time today and I really wanted to focus and give you guys a bunch of tips and tricks on them. Nothing has changed on the rest of my face, and if you don't know what that looks like, let me gladly point you in the direction of some other videos of mine. I will be right back. I'm going to be highlighting with Becca Times Jack & Hills Champagne Pop. I'm going to be using this on a E36 by Sigma and popping it in my inner corner to be my inner corner highlight. I thought it was perfect to complement the look. It really ties in the pink lids and the burgundy shades. And for lips today, I am going to be using Kat Von D's Lolita. We all know how long this takes me, so if you want to leave, go get yourself a snack, eat a meal, write a novel, go ahead because it's gonna be a minute. All right, so that completes our look today. If you would like to follow along the rest of my life, track my sickness, all of my other endeavors, including my new blog that I just launched at sneakylouise.com or my Instagram at sneakylouise. I would love to have you. And please don't forget to subscribe. That was free. Enjoyed it? I